Have you ever closed the front door, locked it behind you, taken a few steps away, and suddenly wondered what your dog does after you leave? Not the version we like to imagine. Not the sweet little movie in our heads where they somehow understand the whole plan, know exactly when we'll be back, and calmly go about their day. I mean the real moment. The quiet room. The sound of your footsteps fading down the hallway. The door staying closed. And your dog standing there, trying to understand why everything just changed. To your dog, you leaving is not just a person walking out. It is the whole house shifting. Your smell is still everywhere, but your voice is gone. The usual rhythm has been interrupted. The body they follow, watch, and check in with is suddenly missing from the room. And what your dog does next can quietly reveal a lot about how safe they feel, how deeply they trust the routine, and how secure your bond really is when you are not there. One of the first things many dogs do after you leave is listen. They may stand near the door with their ears slightly raised, their body still, their eyes fixed in the direction you went. They hear your keys, your shoes on the steps, the elevator moving, the car door closing, the engine starting. And then, little by little, the sound of you disappears. That moment is bigger than most owners realize. Your dog is not standing there thinking, okay, they'll be back at 5:30. Dogs do not read clocks the way we do. They read patterns. They are taking in the whole situation and quietly asking in the only way a dog can ask. Is this the normal kind of leaving, or is something different today? That is why routine matters so much. A dog who knows the shape of your day may watch you leave, wait for a few minutes, listen to the last signs of you leaving, and then slowly settle. Not because they do not miss you, not because they do not care, but because the pattern feels familiar. And sometimes, that is what security looks like. Sometimes love does not look like panic at the door. Sometimes love looks like a dog who can breathe after the door closes. After listening, many dogs start to smell. And this is something humans almost always underestimate. When you leave the house, you are not completely gone to your dog. Your scent is still on the couch, on the blanket, on your shoes, on your pillow, in the hallway. Even in the air around the door where you last stood. Dogs live in a world made of scent. So when your dog sniffs the place where you were sitting curls up near your laundry or rests their chin on one of your shoes, it is not random. They are looking for the part of you that is still there. To us, a shirt is just a shirt, maybe laundry you forgot to put away. But to your dog, that shirt can feel like a soft little map of your presence. It says where you were. It says you belong here. It says the house still carries you. That is the hidden meaning behind why some dogs climb onto your side of the bed after you leave, or lie on the exact couch cushion you always use. They are not trying to steal your spot. They are choosing the place that smells most like safety. And once you see it that way, it becomes hard to look at that behavior the same again. Your dog may also go back and check the door more than once. They might walk away, then return, lie down, then suddenly lift their head, hear a sound outside, and hurry back toward the entrance. That does not automatically mean something is wrong. Sometimes it is simply checking. Dogs are excellent pattern readers. They notice what usually comes before your return. A car slowing down outside, footsteps in the hallway, keys at the lock, the garage door opening, your voice before they see your face. So when they check the door, they may not be waiting sadly in the human way we picture it. They may be gathering information. Still gone. Still quiet. No familiar sound yet. And then, if they feel safe enough, they move on. That little ability to move on matters. It is one of the clearest differences between a dog who is calm and a dog who is struggling. A calm dog can notice that you are gone without getting stuck inside that feeling. After that, many dogs begin to move through the house in small, familiar loops. They may check the sofa, the kitchen, their bed, your bedroom, the window, the door again. This is normal. A home is not just walls and furniture to a dog. It is a living pattern of smells, sounds, routines, and memories. When you are home, your movement gives the house a kind of structure. You go to the kitchen, you sit on the couch, you open the closet, you walk down the hallway, you pick up the leash, When you leave, your dog may briefly move through the places where life usually happens, almost as if they are reading the room after you have disappeared from it. The couch where you rest, the kitchen where food shows up, the hallway where walks begin, the bedroom where the day gets quiet. Your dog is not just wandering around with nothing to do. They are checking the map of their world, and you are a huge part of that map. Then, if the house feels predictable and nothing seems wrong, something very simple often happens. They sleep. And for a lot of people, this is surprising. We imagine our dogs spending the whole day staring at the door, missing us in some dramatic, heartbreaking way. But many emotionally healthy dogs spend much of their alone time resting. They nap, wake up, listen for a second, shift positions, sniff the air, drink some water, look around, and then settle again. It is usually not one long, deep sleep from the second you leave until the second you come back. It is more like a cycle. A little alertness, a little checking, a little rest, a little listening. Then, sleep again. That is normal dog behavior. Dogs are not meant to be mentally switched on every minute of the day. Rest is part of how they regulate themselves. So if your dog can sleep while you are gone, that can actually be a beautiful sign. Their body believes the home is safe, even without you standing in it. That does not mean they love you less. It may mean your relationship has given them enough security to relax when you are away. And that is not a small thing. The goal is not for your dog to fall apart every time you leave. The goal is for the safety you have built together to remain in the room even when your body is not there. Some dogs have a favorite place they choose when you are gone. Near the front door, on your bed, beside a window, on the rug where they can see several rooms at once. Every spot can tell a small story. A dog sleeping by the door may be staying near the place where you left and where you will return. A dog sleeping on your bed may be looking for the comfort of your scent. A dog resting near the window may be watching the outside world for familiar signals. A dog lying in a hallway or open space may be choosing a place where they can keep track of the home. You do not have to turn all of this into a fairy tale. It is behavior. It is scent. It is routine. It is emotional learning. But that is exactly why it matters. Love in dogs is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is very practical. They go back to what smells familiar. They rest where their body feels safe. They listen for the sound that means you are coming back. And then comes the moment you return. For many dogs, the greeting starts before you even open the door. They hear your steps. They recognize your car. They notice the change in the air. Their body begins to wake up before their eyes ever land on you. And this is where many owners misunderstand what they are seeing. A huge frantic greeting does not always mean more love. Sometimes it is excitement. Sometimes it is relief. Sometimes it is stress finally pouring out of a body that held it in all day. A calmer greeting can be just as loving. Sometimes even healthier. A wagging tail, soft eyes, a long stretch. A toy picked up and carried over. A gentle lean against your leg. That dog is not ignoring you. They are saying, the pattern is complete again. You left. The house changed. I waited. You came back. And every time that cycle happens calmly, your dog learns something powerful. Goodbyes do not have to feel like disasters. Now that is the normal side of what may happen when you are not home. But there is another side too. And every dog owner should know the difference. Some behaviors are not just bad manners. They may be signs that your dog is not coping well when left alone. If your dog barks once or twice after you leave, that can be completely normal. But barking that continues for a long time is different. That kind of barking may mean your dog is not settling. Their body is staying activated. They may be calling out, reacting to every sound, or trying to cope with the discomfort of being separated from you. It is not revenge. It is not stubbornness. It is a nervous system that cannot find the off switch. Destructive behavior can mean different things, too. A dog who chews a toy, nudges a blanket, or rearranges a pillow is not the same as a dog who destroys door frames, tears through furniture, or rips things apart only when left alone. When the damage is around exits, doors, windows, or things that smell strongly like you, it can sometimes be connected to distress. Again, not punishment. not spite. Your dog is not sitting there thinking, I'll ruin this because you left me. They may be trying to release tension. They may be trying to escape. They may be trying to stay close to your scent in the only way their stressed body knows how. The mess is the part you find. The feeling underneath it is the part you have to understand. Another red flag is going to the bathroom indoors when your dog is already house-trained. Of course, you always have to think about medical issues, age, how long they were left, changes in schedule, and whether they had a fair chance to go outside. But if accidents mostly happen when your dog is alone, especially alongside barking, pacing, destruction, or panic at the door, it may be part of a larger stress pattern. The body can say things the dog cannot. Stress does not always make noise. Sometimes it shows up quietly on the floor. And then there is scratching or clawing at the door. This can be especially concerning. A dog who paws lightly once and walks away is very different from a dog who digs, claws, bites, or hurts themselves trying to get through the exit. That is not disobedience. That is urgency. The door has become the place where safety disappeared. And the dog's whole body is saying, I need to get to the other side. This is why recording your dog after you leave can be so eye-opening. Not because you are spying, because you are trying to understand. You might discover that your dog whines for 2 minutes, then curls up and sleeps peacefully. Or you might discover that they spend the first hour pacing, barking, panting, clawing, or waiting in a level of tension you never knew was happening. Either way, knowing the truth helps. You cannot support the dog you imagine. You can only support the dog who is actually living through that moment. So what should you watch for? Notice how long it takes your dog to settle. Notice whether they are able to rest. Notice whether they return to normal behaviors like drinking water, sleeping, sniffing, stretching, or chewing something appropriate. Notice whether the stress fades over time or stays intense. A dog who notices you are gone is normal. A dog who cannot recover from you being gone may need help, and that help does not have to be harsh or dramatic. More predictable routines, calmer departures, short practice absences, a safe resting space, enrichment before you leave, professional support if the distress is serious. The goal is not to teach your dog to stop caring about you. The goal is to help them feel safe while they care. Because your dog's life with you is made of repeated little moments. You leave, you come back, you leave, you come back. Over time, those moments become a lesson. The door either starts to mean panic or it starts to mean patience. Silence either feels like abandonment or it becomes a time for rest. Your absence either feels like danger or it becomes part of a routine your dog knows how to live through. And maybe that is the real question. Not simply, does my dog miss me when I'm gone? Of course they notice. In their own dog way, they feel the change. The deeper question is this: what has your dog learned your leaving means? Because when the door closes, your dog does not stop being connected to you. They listen for you. They smell what is left of you. They check the places that hold your routine. They sleep inside the safety you have built. Or they struggle inside uncertainty they do not know how to solve. And when you come home, you are not just walking back into the house. You are completing the promise their day has been waiting to understand. I left, but I came back. And for a dog repeated gently enough, that can become one of the most comforting truths in their whole world.